Is that you cannot paint a whole tribe with one brush, and they have debunked
Replay the tape again. Replay the tape.
No,
I was specific about what I said. I provided context.
Right.
Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if people have a different opinion, they are entitled. No, there's no nonsense.
I think is that you cannot paint a whole tribe with one brush, and they have debunked
Replay the tape again. Replay the tape.
No,
I was specific about what I said. I provided context.
Right.
Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if people have a different opinion, they are entitled. No, there's no nonsense.
I think is that you cannot paint a whole tribe with one brush, and they have debunked
Replay the tape again. Replay the tape.
No,
I was specific about what I said. I provided context.
Right.
Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if people have a different opinion, they are entitled. No, there's no nonsense. Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if people have a different opinion, they are entitled. No, there's no nonsense. Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if people have a different opinion, they are entitled. No, there's no nonsense. Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if people have a different opinion, they are entitled. No, there's no nonsense. Nobody should tell me any 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 nonsense.
My people, how on a day, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you're listening to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media. My people, this video, it wasn't my plan, my intention to make this video, because it has to do with our sister here, a lady I respect, I appreciate, our sister, Ojy Okpe. But unfortunately, at a time when the Biafrans, we are bleeding, we are in mourning, we are sad, and we are angry. At a time when we are going through the shock of what the evil state called Nigeria is doing to us. Sadly, a man like Reuben Abati, not a doctor, a Mr. Reuben Abati, is again finding ways to make our sister here to attack or add more salt to the injury of the Biafrans while we are still mourning. We are still going through a sober reflection, seeing what our leader has gone through in the hands of Nigeria. Mind you, there was a time our sister here, Ojy Okpe, was attacked live on TV by Mr. Reuben Abati. And even though she doesn't see herself as a Biafran, we the Biafrans, we rose up and spoke for her. Even Simon Ekpa made a video where he spoke and gave Abati some serious of warning. And also our sister here, Ojy Okpe, due to the shock and trauma, she left her job role for 6 weeks. Due to the shock and trauma of what she went through, the verbal abuse she went through live on TV in the hands of Mr. Reuben Abati. She left work for 6 weeks to recover and heal. In the same way, we the Biafrans, we need time to heal. Our leader, a man we love with our life, a man that has been our savior, was given life sentence by a criminal country like Nigeria. And we are in the mourning time. We are trying to deal with the shock, the trauma. We are trying to know how to respond and react. At this time, unfortunately, our sister naively is still trying to dagger in the knife more. She's still trying to open that wound. To Ojy Okpe, if you are wise, I would advise you to please let's go the news when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu. If it's not fact-checked, if it's not truth, if you have not verified it, let's go those kind of news, because we are still mourning. We are still sad. We are still going through a sober reflection. Nobody is happy in Biafra land. I repeat, nobody is happy in Biafra land. So please be careful when you make these videos about Nnamdi Kanu at this time. At this point, I want you to just watch this video. And I think I may have to remind our sister here, Ojy Okpe, about Reuben Abati, the man she is now dealing with. The man she assumes is a colleague. I may have to replay that video of how Reuben Abati addressed her live on TV. I may have to play that video just to remind her. You will see how this man was shouting at her, abusing her. Even though they are saying Nnamdi Kanu was shouting in court. But we saw Reuben Abati live on air over a simple question. He lost his cool and was abusing, attacking our sister, Ojy Okpe. And it was we, the Biafrans, that came out to speak against what he did to our sister. Even though she had that shock and for 6 weeks, she was off her work. I may have to put that video at the end of this one. Just to remind her, say, come, look. Yes, you call yourself, you're from Delta. You're from this, you're from that. But when the die was cast, it wasn't the Deltans that spoke for you. It was the same us, the Biafrans, that spoke on your behalf when you were being assaulted, verbally assaulted, live on TV. I may have to put that video at the end of this one just to remind you of what's going on. At this point, let us hear the video they did, and you will notice from the response of Mr. Reuben Abati. He was the one that came with this audio clip for our sister Ojy Okpe to play. Like I said, I didn't want to touch this video, but deep inside my spirit was not happy. Yesterday I was doing a video. I was supposed to discuss this, but I said no. Let me leave it for the sake of our sister Ojy Okpe that I respect so much. But today I was led in the spirit to make this video. So let's go there. Watch this.
A video of a young woman calling out the convicted Ipob leader, Nnamdi Kanu, has gone viral on social media. In the clip, which was released on Tuesday, the woman stated that the Biafra movement is not something that all Igbos are in support of. She then condemns Kanu directly, saying that he single-handedly put the Southeast in disarray. Let's take a look.
The Biafran movement is not something that all Igbos are in support of. So stop trying, I need people to stop trying to mash us into one. There is a divide already on this movement. Before Ipob, there was Masob. How did Masob run their agenda so peacefully? But when it was time for the Ipob, we are having chaos. The East is not what it used to be. We can't travel anymore. The UGMs are in play. The ESN are in play. My state is in shambles because I am from the same state as he is. You can't come out on Mondays anymore. You move, you get killed. Why is nobody saying anything about that? We are more worried about one man who put the whole of the East in disarray for doing the wrong thing. There's tyranny, there's treason. Are we going to advocate for a tyrant? You want a cessation, you do not go about it the legal way, and you put everybody's lives from the East into problems, and then you want us to stand behind violence? Has any of you taken the time to listen to Nnamdi's radio channel for 1 hour and hear the amount of hate? The hate! If I'm not in support, I'm not in support. You can't use my political ambition or my political stance to hold it against me that I'm not speaking up.
Political ambition, political stance. What you are seeing here is like a mockery, stage of the Nigerian National Assembly. These are the children of the rich men in National Assembly, so they have their own stuff that they do. So what you are seeing here is them trying to mimic what their parents are doing at the National Assembly. But let's continue.
Well, online, Dr. Abati, some have said, that a lot of Southeasterners feel the same way she does, but won't say anything publicly, while others question how his life imprisonment will stop the violence or improve the condition in the Southeastern states.
Hold it there. You see, before I start this discussion, in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, verse 14, it says, "But you may keep for yourselves all the women, children, livestock, and other plunder. You may enjoy the plunder from your enemies that the Lord your God has given to you." That's the New Living Translation. Let's go to the New International Version. It says, "As for the women, the children, the livestock, and everything else in the city, you may take of these as plunder for yourselves, and you may use the plunder the Lord your God has given to you from your enemies." Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 14. One more. Let's go to the English Standard Version. It says, "But for the women and the little ones, the livestock, and everything else in the city, all its spoils you shall take as this plunder for yourselves, and you shall enjoy the spoils of your enemies, which the Lord your God has given to you." This is the word of the Lord. This is the word of God. And the key theme here is what? Women, children, livestock, and plunders. Plunder in this text means the loot, their properties. You can also take it. But for the fact that God was speaking this way, to a lay person, you might say this God is a wicked person. He's a terrorist. He's a killer. How can I say take the women, take the children? He's a kidnapper. He's a bad person. No. At the time of war, women are always synonymous to the spoils of war. Why is that? I'll reveal something to you, because sometimes when a woman is going through pressure, she may do the unthinkable as a coping mechanism to safeguard herself, her family, her children. In most cases, the Boko Haram and the rest of them, when they kidnap those girls, it's either they marry them off, rape them, and once they have children, once the woman have children, she will now have to remain in the house of that terrorist, because a new child has been born into that home. Her sole responsibility is to take care of that child. And because of that, even when she has the chance to run away, even when she goes to the stream to fetch some water, she can run into the bush and run away. Because she has a child, she's forever tied to that person. I bring it home by saying this. At a time when the real BIAFRANS were going through a lot, the trauma, the shock of how Nigeria went to Kenya to kidnap our leader. At a time like that, unfortunately, some of our women may have to do the unthinkable. By going this route, speaking this way, with the assumption that it will bring peace in the land of Biafra. So they just showed the video of a girl. We don't know who she is, but I've just shown you and explained to you her job role. She works at the National Assembly, you know, as the new next generation of, you know, politicians in the National Assembly. Fine. And they try to use the word of a woman. We don't even know who she is. We don't know her name. We know she's into, you know, politics. And suddenly now, the voice of that woman means that's what we, the Biafrans, are sticking to. They now see her voice as final. But I'm not going there. Let's continue. Now, you'll see the response from Reuben Abati. You will see in his response, he even went above board to even explain the things that were not shown in this video during the girl's, you know, statement. It was more like a debate between her and another guy. They were both debating in that hall to mimic what happens at the National Assembly. So let's continue. Watch what Abati will say. It shows you he's one of them, or probably perhaps the one that gave Ojy this topic to discuss. Watch this.
Quickly, I think the lady from Abia State, she's from Abia State, should be commended for her boldness, for her courage in expressing herself. In that video, she started by saying, Igbos are very smart people, book smart, street smart.
Igbos are very smart people, book smart, street smart. You didn't hear it from the snippet of the video that Ojy Okpe played. He showed you that this man called Abati must have watched the whole video, or he was the one that sent or fed out this video to discuss, because he has a narrative. There is a narrative he wants to sell. I will catch him there now. Just watch. Keep on going.
Businessman, and that nobody should accept or assume that every Igbo person, just because he or she is Igbo, is supporting the Biafra movement. And that it is wrong to keep saying every Igbo person should get into this trap of emotional responses that seems to be dominant. And she's not alone in this regard. Senator Ojy Okpe, when he commented on the subject, said exactly the same thing, more or less. To say,
hold it there. He's not quoting the worst amongst us, Senator Ojy Okpe. Just keep on watching where this man is going. He's quoting the worst amongst us. And he also said that all Igbos should not be. There was never a time we said all Igbos must be doing what we are doing, or must be in support of Nnamdi Kanu. We never said that. All we are saying is, in a referendum, majority carries the vote. Everywhere you go, during votings, we don't expect everyone to be in support of Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't make sense. It's not possible. It's not viable. But at the end of the day, majority carries the vote. But it will be ludicrous of us to assume that every Igbo person must support the Biafra movement. That's crazy. But watch him now. He's quoting the worst people amongst us. People of Senator Ojy Okpe. You heard what he said about Nnamdi Kanu. Let's continue. Listen, please pay attention now. We're getting there. Listen.
There's about 30 from
listen.
Abia State. She's from Abia State. Should be commended for her boldness, for her courage in expressing herself. In that video, she started by saying, Igbos are very smart people, book smart, street smart, business smart, and that nobody should accept or assume that every Igbo person, just because he or she is Igbo, is supporting the Biafra movement. And that it is wrong to keep saying every Igbo person should get into this trap of emotional responses that seems to be dominant. And she's not alone in this regard. Senator Ojy Okpe, when he commented on the subject, said exactly the same thing, more or less, to say that about 30,000 lives have been lost. Who is going to account for that?
Okay. 30,000 lives have been lost. Where is the proof? You see, it is so convenient for these guys to speak this way and run with the narrative. It is so convenient for them to do these things. That a man who we know as, in fact, let me not insult that one. But we all know Ojy Okpe, his antics. That he came live on air at a time like this to say 30,000 people have been died. Let me use the word died. By whom? That's the question. Who has done the killing? Because we've seen the Nigerian military in Biafra land. Asari Dokubo was out there in the public with a gun, with a rifle, with an AK-47, saying he has been buying the Igbos non-stop. That even his father was selling us as slaves. And he's had contracts with Nigerian government to buy the Igbos as much as possible. Tokalu, what statistics have you got of the numbers of the Igbos that have been unalived by Asari Dokubo and his men? Those they call the special forces. What's the numbers you've got for them? No, he's still a free man. He's walking around. He's above the law. A man who carried gun live on air and said he has been buying the Igbos. Nothing is done about that. It is not even spoken about. It's not discussed in your media. Instead, you are after the man who took a microphone to speak. He's the most dangerous man. But Dokubo, who in the public, he told you what was happening. How his job is to come to the land that I swear, I don't buy them well. Igbos, I don't buy them well. All your children, they are in the bushes. They are rotting in the bush. We don't buy them well. Those were his words. So when you are gathering your stats and doing your stats, the numbers, 30,000. First of all, where is the proof? Who is verifying the numbers? And break it down. How many has your federal government killed in Biafra land? And how many has Asari Dokubo and his boys, the unknown government, taken unalived in Biafra land? Because every time you guys try to put it on the head of something strange, ESN, IPOB, ESN, IPOB, ESN, and I ask myself, what do they mean by IPOB, ESN? We have never described ourselves in such manner. IPOB, ESN. It tells you there is a government narrative undernoting the way they want to perceive us. They want to kill two birds with one stone. So they come with IPOB, ESN are responsible for the killing. And you ask yourself, who is IPOB, ESN? We did the Biafrans. We have never described ourselves as IPOB, ESN. That's not a word we use. If it's IPOB, everybody from the eastern region is IPOB, because it simply means it's an acronym for what? Indigenous People of Biafra. The same way you have USA, United States of America. IPOB is an acronym for Indigenous People of Biafra. So we don't call ourselves IPOB ESN. ESN, their number one job, the Eastern Security Network. The name is there. It is self-explanatory. ESN, their job is to remain in the bushes, to protect the land of Biafra, to remain in the bushes, in the outskirts, at the borders, making sure this Islamic caliphate and the terrorists don't come into our land. They have no business in the city. They have no business in the communities. They have no business in your village. They have no business in the market square. So anything you are seeing there, they are what? Non-state actors, not the ESN that we used to know. Although in the year 2021, ESN was dissolved. It became a defunct organization. This was done by the Prime Minister of Biafra, His Excellency, Mazi Simon Ekpa. But because Nigerian government, they already have a narrative to nail Nnamdi Kanu and kill him with two birds, destroy the name IPOB and kill him with the name ESN. So they came with this slogan, which was a bit strange. IPOB ESN. You are describing the people in a way we don't see ourselves. IPOB ESN. No, that's killing two birds with one stone. Because IPOB itself, it defines 80 million people. The identity of 80 million Biafrans is known as IPOB. And ESN is just the security wing of the eastern region. So there is no way you can now put them together and come with the phrase, come with the name Ipob Esn. It does not make sense. But to the Nigerian government and the Nigerian media, they must run with that narrative in order to kill two birds with one stone. As we speak, Ipob is registered all across the whole world. In UK, in USA, Germany, France, Indonesia, Japan, Australia, wherever you want to name, mention Ipob is there as a registered organization. There are members all across the whole world. So how come we are not being harassed around the whole world? We have our meetings and all those things around the whole world. Only in Nigeria did they tag us as terrorists. A proscribed group, only in Nigeria. So we understand the game, we understand the sentimentals happening in Nigeria, but unfortunately, sometimes these tribal bigots, those that hate us with a passion, they use our sisters, they use our women against us. I keep saying it, Nnamdi Kanu has no business going to Kenya. Nnamdi Kanu has no business relocating to Kenya. But only God knows the trauma he went through in the hands of his wife, Ojy while they were in London. That he felt he was sick and tired of going through that. That he chose to go on holiday to Kenya to clear his head out while fighting for the people. Like I described to you in the book of Deuteronomy 20:14. As for the women, the children, and the livestock, and everything else in the city, you may take this as plunder for yourselves. Because they know deep inside, when you link women, children, and livestock, when you steal someone's cow, you tie them up for 2 weeks, the cow becomes your best friend. The cow will not run away. Children, when you kidnap someone's child and you feed them good for 2-3 months, they will start calling you mommy and daddy. Women, once you kidnap them, once you take them as a spoil of war, booties of war, you take them, you force them, they give birth to children for you. They will remain in that house for the love of the children and the affection they have for you now being the father of their child. Case in point, our sister, may God bless her soul, Leah Shuaibu, a woman who refused to convert to Islam. She was kidnapped, but till this day, she's not come back. Because perhaps she may have like 6 or 7 children for those state terrorists till this day. And now her responsibility is to find peace. And the only way to find peace is to make sure she now takes care of those children she have for those terrorists. And over time, the terrorist who did that to her, who raped her, who forced her into my marriage, she will start calling the person, go and meet your daddy. She will tell their children, go and greet your daddy. Take the food to daddy. Take the water to daddy. She'll be watching her children call the terrorist, Papa, 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 Papa. And over time, she will not have that emotion that to make peace, let me stay here and take care of these children. The idea of running away becomes something of the past. So to my sister here, Ojy Okpe, I understand you are working in a studio where you are in the midst of some tribal big bigots. But we saw the way Abati addressed you when you had a problem with him. Simply because you asked him to do the right thing. And he chose to insult you live on air. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Livelihood has been disrupted in the southeast. Who is going to account for that? And that people should just stop saying, oh, because you are Igbo, then you must support Nnamdi Kanu emotionally. There's also the case of Ms. Ojy Okpe, who gave a testimony at the U.S. Congress, who made the point that, look, the situation in Nigeria is far more complex than is being reported.
Listen.
Who gave a testimony.
Hold it down. Ojy Okpe, as God will have it, you all know when I exposed this woman in my video. an Igbo girl based in USA who was contracted by the Nigerian government to give testimony that no Christian genocide is happening in Nigeria. Where she claims she hails from where? From Jos, from Plateau. But you, I know the name Ojy Okpe na Igbo name. But today now, you see what the enemies are doing now. They are using our own sister's name to reference that there is no genocide of the Christians in Nigeria. Our women, we have to be careful. Our Biafran women, please, we have to be careful. Because the word of God is a story about us. Our own sister, Ojy Okpe, the one you are seeing here, she went to the congressional hearing in America where she said there is no Christian genocide happening. That she hails from Jos. She's from a Christian home. Her parents were doing the works of God all her life. And that Nigeria is a complex situation. No Christian genocide is happening in Nigeria. The Tinubu government had to use an Igbo girl to give the narrative. So they'll say, look at now, she's from Jos, she's Igbo, she's from Jos, and she's telling you this. Because when we say it from the north, they say it's a liar. Today we present to you a woman from Jos. Her name is Ojy Okpe. She's telling you that she hails from Jos. Nothing is happening. There is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. They always find a way to use our own against us. But let's continue. Let's continue. Listen.
Here at the U.S. Congress, who made the point that, look, the situation in Nigeria is far more complex than is being reported, and that we should avoid the error of the single narrative. Now, it's the same thing that that gentleman that you quoted, Zagozala Makama.
It's an analyst group.
Makama is an easier name to quote, saying that, look, they don't look at the crime, they look at who the perpetrator is. And he's talking about stereotyping. That in every community, you have bad and good people. You have criminals, you have extremists everywhere. Now, 2 priests were killed in the East. He says he has not heard anything about them. Nobody is saying anything. People are silent, including the most vocal persons commenting, because it doesn't fit into the narrative of Christian genocide. Because in the East, in this case, it will be the Ipob
against Christian.
Is Christian against Christian.
Yeah.
And the perpetrators, of course, owned up to the responsibility. They claimed responsibility.
Yes, sir, yeah.
So is that why is nobody talking about that? And that's just one example. There will be many. So there will be many. So I also think Mr. Makama, is making a very good point about the need for care, about the need for people to just.
Do you hear that story there of those priests? He said Ipob Esn took claim of killing those priests. So today, I want to challenge Mr. Reuben Abati. Today, I want to challenge my sister, Ojy Okpe, with respect. That please, I need the video evidence of your so-called Ipob Esn members coming in the public to say they were responsible for the killing of those 2 priests. If you can bring me video evidence of the Ipob members, if you can bring me video evidence of those from the USB, if you can bring me video evidence of the Biafra Republic government in exile, if you can bring me video evidence of the CRC in Biafra, I've called all the different organizations, even of MASOP, those from MASOP. Get me video evidence of them saying they are responsible for killing those priests and why they would do such. Then I am saying going forward, I will stop speaking on behalf of the movement of Biafra. I will quit and I will fall aligned with your one Nigerian concept. Today I am challenging this tribal bigot, this man who hates the Igbos with a passion. Mr. Reuben Abati, I am calling you out. You said from your mouth that our people confessed to the killing of Christians or 2 priests in Biafra land. Today, God will bear me witness. I am calling you out in the name of God that in the next 7 days, you must provide the evidence of Biafrans saying we took the lives of those priests. Members of IPOB and ESN, as you called it. Because we know your type. And if you don't do it, then the lies you are telling about us and my people, judgment will befall you and your own people. Judgment will befall you and your own family. I am calling this out in the name of God. I've sworn this, I've taken this as an oath, that if you don't come out in the next 7 days in your programs and show video evidence of your so-called IPOB ESN members coming and confessing that they were responsible for what those two priests went through, then may the worst, the wrath of God, fall upon you and your family. At this point, I would like to remind our sister, Ojy Okpe, to be careful. Tread carefully in what you are doing. Understand the emotions of the Biafrans right now. We are not happy. We are going through a lot this time around. For the past 6 to 7, 8 days, we have been going through a sober reflection. We are moody. So please be careful when you make videos about us. Be careful of making those sensitive videos about us. In your own case, when Reuben Abati attacked you live on air, it took you 6 weeks to recover and come back to your program that you love so much. A program you do very, very well. Don't get me wrong. You are doing a great job in your program. But that someone called you out in the public, assaulted you in the public. You left air for 6 whole weeks to regain yourself from that trauma. Igbos were calling you. The who is who in Igbo land were calling you, consoling you, telling you to remain strong and never to accept such abuse again in that studio in the hand of this man called Reuben Abati. Today, my sister, unfortunately, I will have to remind you again what happened on that day. And maybe that will touch you in your heart to change the way you do things when things are very sensitive and when video or events are very, very critical in the mind of your own people. The same way you felt that it took you 6 weeks to recover. Please allow the Igbo land to heal. Allow us to recover from this shock. We are bleeding. We are not happy. We are sad. And we are angry. So unfortunately, I will play this next video just to remind you that the man, that bastard you have in the studio with you is not somebody you should call your friend. They are happy when you do this to your own people. Ojy Okpe, be careful. Reuben Abati is not someone you should see as a friend or as a colleague. I'll remind you what he did to you live on TV. And hopefully you will change from this and turn a new leaf. Let's go there. Watch this. And people, at this time, I want you to watch the reaction of Mr. Reuben Abati. This is a man who said Nnamdi Kanu was being so hot-tempered in court. But let me show you the mannerism of this man. That just a colleague of his in the office or in their studio there asked him to recant the statement. See the way this animal, this tribal bigot, see the way he responded to his so-called best friend, Ojy Okpe. Back in the days, he would say, Ojy Okpe, in the live program, we present to you, Ojy Okpe, Ojy Okpe. But today, till today, he has not forgiven Ojy Okpe for calling him out. And now, see the way he does the introduction of their program now. He is now calm to show you that these people, they don't forgive. Ojy Okpe, do not forget this video. Unfortunately, I have to show it again. Let the whole world see the man for who he is. Let the whole world see Mr. Reuben Abati for who he really is. A tribal baby goat that also assaulted you live on TV. Let's watch this.
Is that you cannot paint a whole tribe with one brush, and they have debunked
Replay the tape again.
Well,
replay the tape.
No,
I was specific about what I said. I provided context.
Right.
Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if people have a different opinion, they are entitled. No, there's no nonsense. Duty.
I think it's our
Reuben Abati.
Hold it there for me. Do you see? This is just the beginning. Or do you see his mannerism to a fellow colleague on TV? When he lost his cool, do you see how angry this man sounds? But Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya. They are saying, oh, he's been too rude in courts. Your government kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya and brought him to court, and you are telling us he's been too rude. But in your own case, they just put a question to you. And see how angry you sound. Oh yeah, take it again. Listen.
Is that you cannot paint a whole tribe with one brush, and they have debunked
replay the tape again. Replay the tape.
No,
I was specific about what I said. I provided context.
Right.
Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if people have a different opinion,
nobody should tell me any nonsense. Nobody should tell me any nonsense. Ojy Okpe, this was live on air. I was cringing watching this thing live on air. I was cringing. I was in deep shock that this man lost his cool. He lost his cool simply because you asked him to recount a statement that the Igbos don't sell land to the Yorubas. And he lost his cool towards you this way. Let's take it back and I'll allow the whole video to play this time. Enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy.
Is that you cannot paint a whole tribe with one brush, and they have debunked
replay the tape again. Replay the tape.
No,
I was specific about what I said. I provided context.
Right.
Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if people have a different opinion, they are entitled. No, there's no nonsense. Duty.
I think it's our
wow.
A Yoruba man, a politician, a veteran journalist, made a controversial statement while hosting a program on Arise TV. He said someone narrated something to him, and with that, he said Igbo people do not sell land to Yoruba people.
Chief Tos Benson, T.O.S. Benson, former Minister of Information, now late, on one occasion at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, and I'm not making this up, he said it publicly. If anybody can contradict me, let them do so. He said something about Igbo people. He said he had an Igbo wife and had an Igbo daughter, that he wanted to buy land in Igbo land.
Listen.
For his daughter, for his wife, to say, I'm getting old. Tos Benson is getting old. Let me build in this place for my wife. He said that his in-laws told him that they don't sell land to outsiders. That is the irony of Nigeria about the politics of federation, of unity. The same Igbos who are so industrious that they are all over and they do well in other parts of Nigeria. You go as a non-Igbo man to go and buy land. You will be told that you don't belong, even as an in-law. That's by way of an aside. But these are the issues, in my view.
A statement of Reuben Abati has generated so much reaction, and this beautiful lady here, Ojy Okpe, called the attention of Reuben Abati. She wanted him to clarify the statement he made, but Reuben Abati took it very personal, bullied her right in the studio. But what she did will make you happy. Watch the video.
Absolutely. Well, I wanted to just touch more on the issues in the Southeast. Yesterday, Dr. Abati, we took this story, and there was a flurry of reactions about whether or not the Igbo people sell land to outsiders. I don't know if you would like to address that, because there were a lot of, people from the Southeast saying that it is not true.
No, I have no further comments on that subject.
Okay.
I was very clear yesterday. I was very specific. I made my point. I provided the context in which I was speaking. If people have a selective hearing, That is their problem.
Well,
not mine.
one of the comments is that you cannot paint a whole tribe with one brush, and they have debunked
Replay the tape again.
Well,
Replay the tape.
No,
I was
cannot.
specific about what I said. I provided context.
Right.
Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if
I
people
think
have
that
a
it is
different
our
opinion,
duty.
they are entitled. No, there's no nonsense. Duty.
I think it's our duty.
If people have a different opinion, they have anthropological evidence to support it. They should say so.
Well,
it's not for me to reverse myself.
No. I was just saying to clarify.
Except you are expressing your own opinion.
No.
Wow.
And then I will come after you
No,
and
there's
say you are
been
wrong.
a flurry of reactions.
Wow.
Support it. They should say so.
Well,
it's not for me to
Listen.
reverse myself.
Listen.
I was just saying to clarify.
Except you are expressing your own opinion.
No.
And then I will come after you.
No,
and say
Unless, except you are expressing your own opinion, and I will come after you. Except you're expressing your own opinion, and I will come after you. It does not end here, my people. It does not. The assault is about to start. Take it back and listen again.
A flurry of reactions.
Yes.
And I have to present
that
it. It
comes
is my
with
duty.
the job. That comes with the job.
It is my duty.
It's a free country.
It is my duty to present the reactions of the Nigerian people.
And not to come and challenge me.
Absolutely not. I asked you if you would like to comment. I asked if you would like to comment.
I've told you.
Well,
Not to come and challenge me. If you try that, we shall fight. Your job is not to challenge me. If you try that, we shall fight. This man putting Ojy Okpe in a new reality. That, your job is just to attack the Igbos. But if you want to come here and attack me or control me or curtail what I'm saying, we are going to fight. Take it back and listen.
They should say so.
Well,
it's not for me to reverse myself.
No. I was just saying to clarify.
Except you are expressing your own opinion.
No.
And then I will come after you and say you are wrong.
There's been a flurry of reactions.
Yes.
And I have to present
that
it.
Comes with the job. That comes with the job.
It is my duty.
It's a free country.
It is my duty to present the reactions of the Nigerian people.
And not to come and challenge me.
Absolutely not. I asked you if you would like to comment. I asked if you would like to comment.
I've told you.
Well, the conversation is that a whole tribe cannot be painted with one man's experience. We'll take another story.
Oh, God have mercy. This led to our sister, the shock, the trauma, the anxiety. She couldn't handle it, and for 6 weeks, the whole country was sad. Seeing our beautiful sister Ojy Okpe go through this. Hence, I'm calling upon her now to please, if it took you 6 weeks to recover from the verbal abuse from Reuben Abati, then please give us time to recover from this shock of what Nigerian government did to Nnamdi Kanu. I am begging of you. I don't care about the other ones. They are not of the Igbo stock. They are not of the Igbo extraction. Let them keep on. It is their time to enjoy now. Okay? Let the other ones do what they are doing and enjoy. Embellish the fact. But please, if they give you any news that is too sensitive, understand that we, the Biafrans, we need time to heal. Now, beg you. We need time to heal. Ojy Okpe, please. If Abati give you any video to talk about Nnamdi Kanu and it's too sensitive right now, we need time. It took you, just something happened to you in the studio. It took you 6 weeks to recover. You were out of your job for 6 weeks. And you returned in the 7th week. Our own is just 6 to 7 days. We are still hurting about Nnamdi Kanu. Give us time to heal. Ojy, I'm begging you on this one, please. This video is not about you, but there is no way I will expose Reuben Abati by not showing what he did to you. So please, Ojy Okpe, give us the time to heal. Biafrans need healing. The Igbos need healing. Give us time to heal. I beg of you.
Man, challenge me.
Listen.
Absolutely not. I asked you if you would like to comment. I asked if you would like to comment.
I've told you.
Well, the conversation is that a whole tribe cannot be painted with one man's experience. We'll take another story. In another development.
The whole tribe cannot be painted with one man's experience. That is OJY. Look at her, she's very young. Compare her to Reuben Abati. Look at the wisdom, Look at the calmness. Look at the professionalism she exudes. Compare that to Reuben Abati, someone that called himself a veteran journalist, someone that called himself an elder statesman. Reuben Abati called himself a professional journalist, a professional on-air personality. Reuben Abati has worked in government. He has mixed with Igbo people. He has worked with Igbo people before in his life. This is Reuben Abati's fourth wife, Kiki. She owns a consulting agency in Lagos, and one of her biggest clients is Airpeace, an Igbo man. Reuben Abati is working in Arise TV. Arise TV is owned by Nduka, an Igbo man from Delta State. But despite all of this, Reuben Abati has chosen to be a tribal bigot. Men looking at him, from his reaction, his body language, everything, the way he reacts to anything concerning Igbo, even the way he reacts to Mr. P2B, it will show you that he is a tribal bigot. Reuben Abati was reacting to the comments made by Ojy Okpe, the Senate President, on the Igbo people. Ojy Okpe has said that the Igbo people are self-made billionaires. The Igbo people are the only ones that will go to other communities in this country and develop them. The Igbo people own some part in Lagos State. The Igbo people are the only tribe in this country that rose from the rungs of the world to become self-made billionaires. Ojy Okpe further said that the Igbo people are resilient, they are entrepreneurial, they have this mercantile spirit. This was a statement that Reuben Abati was responding to. Maybe he was not happy that somebody was describing the Igbo people in that manner. He decided to water down everything with his bigotry. What a shame. At this age and time, we are still battling with bigotry. We battle with bigotry on social media with young folks who do not know their left and right. And we are still battling with bigotry with a supposed elder statesman. These are the kind of elders you want us to respect in this country. If you've got... Like I said, his statement have generated a lot of reactions, and some Yoruba people have come out in the defense of the Igbo people. Let's take some of those reactions. This young man here wrote on Premium Times that his service years in Igbo land purged every atom of bigotry inside of him. That means what he experienced in Igbo land made him to realize that everything they've been saying about bigotry in Igbo land are all false. And here it's been reported that the biggest mall in Nigeria, Polo Park Mall, was built in Enugu by a Yoruba man named Tayo Amusan. Why didn't they deny him the right to own a property and a business in Igbo land? He is a Yoruba man. Why did they sell land to him? Here is another prominent Yoruba man that owns a business in Igbo land, the Onitsha Business School. The founder of Onitsha Business School is Professor Olusegun Sobensa. He's a Yoruba man. How was he able to acquire his land in an Igbo land? The same Igbo people that do not sell land to Yoruba people. Another Yoruba person debunked Reuben Abati bigotry statement, and he said, but some of us Yorubas in the East don't understand this lie, Sha. At least, I'm building my own family house here, and this year makes it my 15 years in Onitsha. Funny enough, my engineer is also a Yoruba man who has stayed longer than me, but let us continue online fighting. Sola John said, as a COP members under NCCF, the Anambra State government allocated a land to us and we began developing it. Later, we bought another one behind St. Paul's University, Oka, and built the family house there.
Wow.
This one said that I served in Imo over a decade ago and I still ply my trade across eastern states. I can categorically say that it is wrong to generalize issues like this. Igbos are good people, quite friendly and hospitable. Benjamin said, I did not experience this while serving in Umuahia, Abia State. These people were kind to me and they treated me specially. There were other several comments of Yoruba people coming out to debunk Reuben Abati bigoted statement. If you notice carefully, most of the people that spoke in support of the Igbo people are Yoruba people that serve in Igbo land. And this is actually the core mission of NYSC.
Okay, let's hold it there, because sometimes I don't need to beat a dead horse. Now to my sister Ojy Okpe, I hope now you see how things are. You've seen the man you are dealing with, because you gave him the opportunity to stab one more dagger in the heart of we the Biafrans by saying that Ipob Esn took the life of two priests, by praising a girl, a young girl who is still doing her, she's working at the National Assembly, apprenticeship or whatever in the National Assembly. What do you expect her to say? What do you expect her to say? Our sister Ojy Okpe, please rethink and reconsider for all that is good. Apply wisdom in your job. Not every breaking news should be made as a breaking news. Right now, the Biafrans, we are in pain. We are in pain. And please, I want to call on the mothers, the women of Biafra. Please rethink and reconsider your ways. You are responsible for all this thing. Simon Ekpa, we saw what happened to him. How the wife of Nnamdi Kanu, believing that if she can gather people to blackmail Simon Ekpa in Finland, that way Nigerian government will release her husband, Nnamdi Kanu. She fell for the same trap. She believed Bianca Ojukwu that told her that Nigerian government is not after Nnamdi Kanu but Simon Ekpa. So according to the words in Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 14, for the love she had for Nnamdi Kanu, she betrayed the most beloved disciple of Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa. Ojy Okpe, we are calling upon you. Please rethink and reconsider for all that is good. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless the good people of Biafra. May God bless the women of Biafra. May God bless you to understand that when men are handling the affairs of the land, we are doing it because we love you all. Don't be selfish. Don't be self-centered. Don't look at your condition and the condition of your children to now blackmail the movement. I understand it's in your nature. Makobi Wanne, for the love you have for your family, you may do the unthinkable. Which is why in the book, in closing, Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 14, it says, as for the women, the children, the livestock, and everything else in the city, you may take these as plunder for yourselves. And you may use this plunder the Lord your God gives you from the enemies. Take it, it's yours, and use them as you will. But they know that the livestock will not run back. They know that the children, when you feed them for a while, they start calling you daddy and mommy. They know the women, the spoils of war. When you take them, keep them in your house, chain them to the ground, do with them whatever you want. When they have children, for the love of their children, when they see their children call you daddy, uncle, daddy, they will not run away. They will remain in your custody, in your care, under your household. They know this. That's why it's there in the Bible. Because the women, they are wired differently. They didn't say keep the men. They didn't say take the men. Even men who are slaves, when they have the opportunity, they run away. They run away, slaves and the rest of them. So if God is saying take the women and children and livestock, it means women are synonymous to being seen as children and livestock. The behavior is similar. A livestock, no matter what, feed them good food for 2-3 weeks, they'll become your best friend. Same as children. But sadly, I was shocked. I was taken aback when I saw women being described that way. But now I understand what God meant by adding women to it. Because I was thinking the women would just poison these men now. Put poison in their food. They would die or they slip off. Once they slip off, you will escape. That's not the way the women are wired. So please, I'm calling on Ojy Okpe. Please be careful. This is not a swipe at you. This is not an attack on you. I just made this video to remind you. So please, when it comes to any video about Nnamdi Kanu, rethink and reconsider for all that is good. Rethink and reconsider for all that is good. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. No more talk.
Nnamdi Kanu is a clear example. In 2022, Nigeria's Court of Appeal struck down the charges against him and ordered his release. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has also called for his unconditional release. Yet he remains in solitary confinement, in deteriorating health, and recently had to represent himself in court. Nigeria has signaled that the law is optional and targeting Christians is fair game. Just hours ago this morning, despite the pleas and cries of the Nigerian people and many Nigerian lawmakers, Nnamdi Kanu was convicted on all charges. For fiscal year 2025, the U.S. has requested nearly $8 billion for sub-Saharan Africa. But when Americans see political prisoners, judicial defiance, and the slaughter of Christians, they understandably ask as they meet their own struggles, why should our tax dollars support governments that refuse to protect their own people? Is our aid aiding a genocide? Nigeria is a nation of tremendous potential, but that potential is being choked out by violent persecution of its Christian population. No country can build a stable future where churches are burned, believers are killed, and communities live in fear.